Okay, picking up from last time there where I accidentally killed myself. I respawned in at the Cumian Canal. I'm not a big fan of save editing. I'm not going to be doing any of that to like increase my money or whatever, or try to modify other stuff, but dying because I accidentally forgot to jettison the wrong thing is kind of bullshit, so I'm cool with doing that. But I still have the Mirror Catch Sunlight boxes here, so I'm going to keep them in my inventory until I sustain 2 wounds as I would have previously, and then I'll jettison the remaining ones. But here is Abbey Rock. Let's get a port report. At some point we need to make it down to actually Station 3 is right over there. That was listed as one of the possible locations of the schematic for the sonar that we were looking for, so I'll go ahead and head over there. Sure, we'll dissect it for knowledge. Yeah, that gives us fragments. That thing doesn't really do much damage. The ship is pretty ponderous though. It's definitely not ideal for combat. It just happens to have a pretty substantial hull, which is nice. Okay, we have 1 wound. That's fine. Okay, so this is a new option since we're doing the submariner quest. Search Shed 12. A long, low building propped up against the wall, boarded windows, a rustling padlock. Your bosun shatters the lock with a ball-peen hammer. Inside, your lamps reveal dust-choked workbenches strewn with discarded tools. Shelves of cardboard boxes filled with rivets and bolts, washers and screws, blackboards roughly scrubbed. Here's an old lunchbox, its half-eaten sandwiches encased in successive generations of exciting fungus. In a rusted filing cabinet, you find the documents you need, a folder of tea-stained research into Zonar. You leave the rotting workshop quietly and return to your ship. The next time you sneeze, your handkerchief comes away black with the workshop dust that crept into your lungs. We'll go ahead and try to find signs of other visitors while we're here. We succeeded. Got 10 fragments, and that's it. Alright, so onward towards Gator's Morn. And once we get the next thing from the Mirror Catch box, we'll go ahead and dispose of the remaining ones. Okay, the Shepherd's Isles. Let's go ahead and drop off our refugees. Nice, there's 100 echoes. Let's get a port report while we're here. There's actually a lot of stuff that can be done here, it looks like. Did we take these tails already? I'll have to watch that video to remember. But anyway, let's see. Let's go ahead and head on up to Gator's Morn and then make our way back to London. What was it that we needed again for our officer there? What was it? Solace Fruit and Scintillac, okay. Let's get our cargo. We've lost 1,000 souls, that's fine. Let's gather intelligence. We have an 80% chance of success, we're good. Anything at these shops that we might need? I'll go ahead and drop off 3 of them, and then we'll take that second wound from the last one. That is a little bit cheaty because we're getting an extra like 500 or so echoes, but whatever. Saves me the trouble of accidentally making the same mistake and tossing off the empty box rather than the full one because they look really similar. Okay, we'll set something aside. We have that hidden compartment, which is nice. Hand over the cargo and collect our payment, which is 200, as well as some fuel and supplies. We'll stop by this place. Okay, the scholar doesn't have anything for us right now. Let's grab some more crew since we went ahead and lost one while we were at the surface there. We don't quite need to put our ship into dry dock yet. This will just be a Zailer probably, yes. Well, we didn't take that extra wound, so I'm going to go ahead and just trade this in anyway and be cheeky and get some extra echoes there. So we came out about 600 echoes ahead of where we would have been if I had just taken the wounds and jettisoned the cargo, but RNG was with us this time, so whatever. It's a lot of port reports. Alright, so we're back to around 2,000 echoes. What else can we do here? We want to get the Scintillac. We also have the candles and the flare that were needed for the continuation of that postal service thing that was going on. So I think I'll probably, let's see, we can head south to Port Carnelian, insinuate some spies there, and also go ahead and drop off the sonar schematic. So in order to do that, we will need to pick up an agent here. We'll need to stock up on some fuel. Or I'll just go ahead and get a bunch of candles. Okay, we're maxed out. That's right, because we had all that coffee that we had bought. Yeah, and that does sell for a decent profit. Okay, so that coffee pretty much just covered all of the supplies that we ended up getting there, which is pretty handy. I'd kind of like to get a new weapon or something, but I'd like to have at least 3,000 or 4,000 echoes before I try to do that, just so I can ensure that I'll always have enough to fuel up for at least, 4 or 5 more runs. Let's see, do we have anything that we can give this guy? Or gal, whichever it may be. Let's see, I think I have this because I have the Fallen London browser game. I have an account that is linked with this one. So let's try this. Ask the scholar about the whisper-locked box. Cobweb light silver tumbles... Cobweb light silver tumblers will align if the words are right. But what are the words? Perhaps the makers of the box will know. I have an idea where it's from, but it's a long way there, and I may be wrong, so perhaps... I rather like the box. Perhaps you should simply sell it to me. Let's refuse and ask her his advice. Irem, I'd say. The Iremi like locks. They like puzzles. They can make things that are honestly implausible. Their city is perched on Parabola's rim, like a hummingbird on the finger of a god. Go to Irem. Perhaps they can open it for you. Perhaps they can tell you how. Alright. You can swing by Abbey Rock on the way south, as well as the Utter Shroom to grab some portrait ports. We also need to see about getting that Scintillac. I think one of these places sells it, or you can trade for it. It's been a minute. Let's go ahead and kill this thing too. I think these things are generally worth killing at this point in the game. Had 1 health there at the end. Alright, let's gain the supply. That may not have been worth it, but getting the strange catches seems good. We're always kind of light on those. Oh, heavy rock. Okay, there's no shops here. Yeah, there we go. That's how I'd seen this. Trade a strange catch for a consignment of Scintillac. Ensure you have space in your hold. Would have been nice if we had just gotten one there from that monster, but... Let's watch a convent while we're here, see if anything pops up. Some fragments, okay. Alright, and let's be on our way to the south. Sleep when you're dead. You're hurt. You should really be in bed. Okay, so we can trade a supply to heal the wound. That's fine. It means we don't have to stop and rest in our lodgings back in London. I think we could kill that thing, but I really don't feel like digging around with all the hull damage that we would be taking trying to do that. I'm not sure what it drops, if anything. It's been a while. Alright, let's do T and get a supply and reduce our terror. And then get the port report. nights, we'll visit the village, gain a memory of a distant shore for that, and we'll gather intelligence, and that's all we can do here. Now let's head down to Port Carnelian, where we can try to catch that snuffer, as well as insinuate a spy network, and give the sonar blueprint to the people at that one shipyard that's constructing our submarine outfitting. Port Carnelian. We'll go ahead and pan for sapphires. We succeeded. We gained some sapphires. Or we gained some echo. Let's insinuate our agent. We have an 80% chance of success, like last time, and this time we did indeed succeed. Let's see what our spies want. They want romantic literature. Okay, that's kinda weird, but alright. Let's go ahead and try to find the snuffer now. Snuffer hunting. The same way you entice any prey, with bait. You'll need candles, lots of candles. Empty-handed. You arrange a tempting, poorly guarded bulk sale of candles. What snuffer could resist? This one, apparently. He doesn't bite. By evening, you're down on the deal, and you've wasted a day disguised as a flamboyant but gullible merchant from Khan's shadow. You fling aside the least flattering of your scarves in disgust. Okay, we only lost one candle there. That's odd. I figured we'd lose all three. Let's see. Can we try that again? Whoops. Wrong thing. We just backed out of that. A trap for the faithful. As far as you can tell, this trick was last performed 700 years ago, when a cabal of Orthodox priests confronted snuffers preying on their fourth city flock. You create a false chapel and fill it with candles. They stand tall on stands, blaze in candelabras, float in copper bowls. Scented candles and colored candles, red as meat, white as bone, green as emeralds, black as a funeral. A hot wax smell pours from the doors and down the street. There are so many. The snuffer must think. Who would miss one? He does not know you are hiding in the confessional. You emerge when you hear him gobbling between the pews. Melted wax encrusted on his chin. A scrap of wick is caught between his teeth. You show him your pistol, tie his hands, and lock him in the brig of your ship. He was ambitious, this snuffer. He had replaced an aide at the governor's mansion. Alright, so we succeeded in that. Let's go to the hidden workshop, complete phase 2. You brandish the pilfered Zonar schematics. The engineers cheer. They set to work immediately. Your ship is docked at the workshop and concealed beneath a set of awnings. Beneath, hammers ring, drills whir, mechanics argue, reconcile, improvise. From the outside, your ship looks largely unaltered, but inside, new pipes gleam. A satisfying lever stands by the helm, surrounded by an array of mysterious gauges and dials. This extends the shell hole, a weary engineer explains. Don't pull it until you're out at sea, eh? The fierce philanthropist offers you a sherry. We've done it, she says. To your new journeys, citizen, wherever they may lead. Alright, so we now have the submarine conversion process. Your ship may transform into a submarine. Press T when at sea to transition. And your future captains may convert their ships into submarines without cost. Awesome. Do I want to go ahead and test it out now? I don't know. It is a tempting prospect, but it's also kind of terrifying. I never did too much with the submarine content when last I played. God, those blue prophets are a damn menace. Gosh, they're everywhere. I don't really have proper weapons to fight them, unfortunately. My weapons are still the same ones that we started with. And those flocks of birds have 300 health or something like that. It's crazy. God, will they just leave me alone? Holy shit. Ah, dang it. Engine caught fire. Lost 57 hull. Good lord, we're going to need a repair. Alright, back to Adam's Way. We have Tales from London to get in here. Deliver the snuffer to the avuncular broker. You have contained the creature in a barrel. You order it rolled to the broker's door. A job well done. Excellent. Roll it in, my friend. I owe you another lunch, I think, but first, your payment. He hands you a large cream envelope. Inside is a chart, its folds stiff with sea salt. The corner is stamped with the seal of the Empress herself. It is labeled First Voyage of the Galatea, 1867, and shows a tenuous roving course across the Untersee. As you leave, the avuncular broker is keen to keep in touch. Perhaps I will have another commission for you after a conversation with our mutual friend. He pats the top of the barrel. The thing inside kicks. So we have a revelatory chart. The dark spectacled admiral will want to see this if your admiralty's favor is high enough, and an extraordinary implication. Let's see what this second commission is. His invitation is urgent. A complication. This time he meets you in a private room. A lady in a neat buttoned suit sits beside him, flicking through an English phrase book. She seems quietly pleased. Sit, sit, the broker urges. His avuncularity is diminished. The snuffer you caught was extremely surprised by its interrogation. It was under the impression that it was working for us. One of our London diplomats has decided that the expedience of using snuffers outweighs the prohibition on associating with them. He is incorrect. He introduces his associate, a hands-on diplomat. I'd like you to see her safely to the Presbyterian Embassy in London. She will explain her colleague's error to him and replace him in his position. Thereupon she will pay you. The payment is generous. It covers your discretion as well as your service. Alright, so we just have a passenger to take to London. That's fine. Let's go ahead and assist at this hospital. We tried this last time and nothing worked. Although now, obtain treatments for the brisk campaigner. Huh. Oh, this is an animescence hospital. That's the disease that the campaigner has. Animescence is a rare disease at the outer continent, a slow combustion of the soul, gradually baking vital organs. Poets suffer worse than most, lovers worst of all. The blistered monks who run the hospital will accept any assistance. Let's see, so we can assist in some things. But yeah, let's see. Obtain treatments for the brisk campaigner. No cure exists, but the monks claim they can delay the worst symptoms. We can spare a little if your need is great. A gelid paste, a trio of astringent filters to be taken in exact order and dosage. An epigram to recite as the treatments are administered. Will this bunkum really work? We now have an unlikely collection of treatments. They won't cure the brisk campaigner, but perhaps they'll grant her a little more time. Looks like we have one more thing that we can do here. Sure, we'll carry water in the Chapel of Pyres. When patients in their final throes rave on stone beds. We failed the challenge. A narrow escape? A tattooed patient croaks his last secret, kept hidden all his life. His lips are cracked, his skin is dry as paper. You draw close to listen. He shudders. He breathes a final, torn breath, his mouth hot as an oven door. A monk drags you away. The soul burns most fiercely when the body dies. Get too close, and your own might catch light. Is it hot in here? Alright, so now it's time to return to our ship. And we don't have anything else that we can give them for now. They have coffee, which we could sell in London for a decent profit margin at that. I won't fill up complete... Well, yeah, I will, because we'll be burning fuel as we return. Because I'd like to kill one of those fish in order to get the scintillac from the Abbey. Let's see, can I do anything with the Brisk Campaigner with that remedy that I had? No, I can't right now. Maybe that's the next thing, though. That would be kind of cool if we had accidentally just gone ahead and taken care of that. That is a gigantic creature. 400 life, jeez. Don't think I want to mess with that, not when my hull is only at 115. Need to just go ahead and head over to the west at least. The further west we get, the less dangerous things tend to become. Actually, this might be a good place to go underwater. Oh no. The Eye. The Eye. As vast and round and wild as the moon. Your crew shriek and cavort. They pull their mustaches and bay like dogs. You, of course, are calm. Utterly calm. Calm as the moon. Those noises must be coming from someone else. Oh, Lord. We can dive into the pupil. I don't know, though. Our terror is so high right now. I think if I kind of want to come back when the terror is lower, because I have a feeling that if we dive into the pupil, our terror is just going to skyrocket, and I really don't want to deal with having super high terror. Steam away as fast as you can. It sees. It sees through your skin and your flesh and into your bones, where accumulate all the things that you have ever done or said or thought or feared or adored or despised or wished or made or broken or grieved or desired or shamed. For God's sake, can this bloody submarine go any faster? Oh, that's so cool. Oh, that's horrifying. Oh. I really want to know what it is now, but I want to try to cure the Brisk Campaigner first. So it's just to the east of the Utter Shroom. Yeah, our terror's getting way up there. Can't say I've heard that song before. That was just a slowed down version of one of the songs that typically plays at sea. I'm not sure if it played because we went underwater or specifically because we interacted with that gigantic eye. Either way, we have our strange catch, so let's go ahead and trade that for some scintillac. And we still need a strange catch too to speak with our not brisk campaigner, our clattery heir. Because I would like to do some of her quest line as well. Or the music could be playing slower because our terror is high as well. I'm not sure. Let's see. So we can no longer smuggle refugees because our quality for that event is now at 3 instead of 2, which means that we may need to do something over at the Shepherd Isles in order to continue that story. That'd be my guess anyway. Oh, this music is wigging me out. Scintillac and Sunless fruit. I have a theory about the properties of fluid light and their procession through the highways of the heart. Delight, the campaigner secludes herself in her workroom. You are woken next watch by her uncharacteristically frantic hammering on your door. You open it, and in a moment of equally uncharacteristic joy, she seizes and hugs you. It worked. The process worked. Another few treatments and my soul will be clear of fire. I will certainly publish my success when we next return to London. The brisk campaigner has recovered. We can celebrate with her with mushroom wine back in London. Let's go ahead and kill this next beast. Might as well take a bit more hull damage since we're going to try to repair to full anyway. Alright, let's go ahead and dine with the clattery heir. Ooh, what's this? Horrors below. Sailors at the rail call softly. Something swims beneath the ship. I saw it looking at us, one says, his voice a tremble. Bring out the nets. Well then, let's catch it. Canst thou draw out Leviathan with a hook? Your crew attempt to dissuade you, but you are determined. The nets and harpoons come out, and you busy yourself. The sea roils. The ship pitches wildly. Below the ship, for an instant, you see a vast eye glare up, golden as a lost sun. Sailors cry out and fall to their knees. It closes, and the sea is dark again. We've succeeded in an iron challenge. Lost a hull, gained a tale of terror, gained terror, and gained fragments. Alright, terror's back down to 50. Blind Bruiser wants us to run an errand for him. Sure, we'll go ahead and do that. Polythreme, we can do that. Let's go and submit our port reports. Is that everything? Yeah, okay. Let's see, can we submit our revelatory chart? Yes, we can. Let's find out if it's real. A careful inspection. He scrutinizes the chart minutely through a lens. He doesn't, you notice, remove the dark spectacles. It passes muster, he remarks. The usual fee applies. 250 echo, not bad. Let's ask what he needs. Visit a port and we'll be interested in... alright. Where does he want us to go? Oh, we just asked what he needed. We should ask if he needs anything specific, right? Let's ask him what he thinks of the voracious diplomat. The diplomat, a half-legendary, all-infamous figure whose connection to the Admiralty is obscure. A frank scowl. An unprincipled scoundrel, the Admiral snaps. If you have intelligence, bring it to me. Don't go off the books. Decide whether to complete the avuncular broker's mission. The hands-on diplomat is anxious to take up her new post. And no doubt you're anxious to be paid. The hands-on diplomat slides bullets into her pistol. Time to go, she says, slipping it into her satchel. She shares the name of the man she is to replace and shows you his picture, a dapper chap, dark-eyed, dark-skinned, smiling. You can escort her safely to the embassy, warn the target of her arrival, or stall her. I guess we'll go ahead and escort her. The Presbyterian embassy is hidden in London sewers. The journey is damp and odorous. The Prester's work. Its location might be foul, but the embassy's door is of good mahogany, and the knocker has been polished to a fierce gleam. The hands-on diplomat stops outside. Thank you for your help. The next task is mine. She hands you a shard of something bright and burning. A sacred price for enforcing a sacred prohibition. She draws her gun and knocks on the door. You make your way back to your ship. We now have one mountain sherd. This was struck from the side of the mountain of light, who is the god called stone. It is holy. Treat it accordingly. If you don't treat it as holy, it can be sold as a captivating treasure. Let's see. The scholar has a present, 2 supplies. Did we buy coffee? I believe we did. Yeah, I keep wondering why we're so low on money. It's because we're buying a bunch of stuff to sell. Let's get the wine, and then we will speak to our officers. Well, first, actually, let's go to the lodging, spend time with the family. Sure, we'll give the kid a memory of distant shores. We'll go ahead and do one more. We can't here. Alright. Let's get the news. Celebrate with the campaigner. The campaigner has changed. The irises of her eyes, which were brown, are now charred black. The flesh is shrunken on her bones. She's aged 10 years, but her back is straight and her voice is clear. Wine, she says incisively. Wine. You and the campaign toast her rebirth. Not a rebirth, she corrects you. Perhaps a pre-death. Hush. Don't look at me like that. I am a realist. Have another glass of wine. She has survived. She has found a cure. If anyone could, she points out, it would be me after all. You're lucky it was me who fell ill. Her wisdom has been tested, tempered, and not found wanting. Well, quite, but you were an invaluable assistant. A fine vintage this. Another glass? You and she are safe. All shall be well, and all manner of things shall be well. We've lost the brisk campaigner, and we now have the indomitable campaigner. Which means that she is now a badass. Iron +5 and hearts +9. Yeah, we'll trade her out for the surgeon. Speaking of which, her father? She becomes more talkative when she has something to cut. Perhaps you can get her to say more about her father. Who was he then? There's flensing, deboning, and orderly arranging of scales from large to small. This was the creature's favorite organ, she says, working briskly with tweezers and blade. Don't touch it. The purple bits are toxic. She only turns to personal matters when she's had a chance to rinse her fingers. I get my proficiency with metal from both sides of the family, she says, watching your expression closely. Then, Mother was a favorite with Mr. Iron. She says that they only worked together, that Mr. Iron sponsored her work and provided her with tools. Sharper tools that do not bend so easily. Mr. Iron, just for lore purposes, is one of the masters of the Bazaar, which is that crazy mercantile area in London that sort of took over. Let's see, so with a live specimen we can continue. Okay, well, let's see. Where did our guy want us to go again? Let me check that before we head off here. Cargo for the cheery man from Polythreme. So I think I'll go up there next time. And then I'll head over to Nuncio with my candles and flare and head further into the back room of that post office. But for now, I'll go ahead and cut this one off since the last one ran so dang long.